Hi, this is Dave Earley, and we're talking about groups, how to have and lead effective, healthy, growing, multiplying groups. And today I want to talk to you about a recent survey that was done, actually two surveys that were done internationally, hundreds of small group leaders, and some interesting findings from these surveys. And the primary finding was this: groups that were leader-centered were less effective than groups that were more member-centered. You say, well, what's the difference? Well, groups that are leader-centered, when we say that, we're talking about there's one main person, one main teacher, one main leader who does the ministry inside the group, but also everything that goes on outside the group. Effective groups that grew and were healthy and multiplied, the members participated in the ministry of the group much more than just the leader. In leader-centered groups, the leader did most of the talking. In member-centered groups, the members talked to each other. In leader-centered groups, the members tended to sit and listen to the leader, while in member-centered groups, the members all participated. In leader-centered groups, the leader was the dominant person. In member-centered groups, the leader facilitated everybody being involved. In leader-centered groups, the members didn't feel like they could ever attain to the standard the leader was at. In member-centered groups, the members did feel they could do that leading a group ultimately was something they could do. In leader-dominated, leader-centered groups, the leader views their ministry primarily as teaching. In member-centered groups, the leader views their primary responsibility as facilitating others during the meeting in learning, but also outside the meeting and empowering others to minister to one another. In a leader-centered group, it's known as Joe's group, the leader's group. In a member-centered group, it's known as our group, my group. In a leader-centered group, the members are basically spectators. The leader is the participant. While in a member-centered group, the members are the participant, and the leader is also the leading participant. So, in those type of groups, it was found that the member-centered groups attracted 40% more visitors. Member-centered groups had 43% more people saved in their groups. In member-centered groups, they added new members 20% more often than a leader-centered group. And a member-centered group ultimately produced a lot more leaders, 30% more leaders. So, groups that thrive, they shift the focus from the leader to the members. If there's anything I've learned, that when I'm busy and not intentional about my group, I tend to just do it myself. While when I am more intentional about my group, I make the time, make the effort to get other people involved, not just in the discussion during the group, but in each other's lives outside the group. The second thing they learned, so the main thing they learned as they did these surveys were that member-centered groups thrived more often than leader-centered groups. Second thing they learned was that prayer made a big difference. It increased the number of salvations, how many people got saved through the group, how many leaders ultimately came out of the group, the continual growth of the group. Prayer made a big difference. The third thing they found is that when the group members feel like a lot of caring is going on outside the group, inside the group session, the group is going to grow that much more often, 30% more, and it's going to produce 70% more leaders, 70% more if it's a caring group where people feel cared for and connected. A very interesting thing they found had to do with eating. Groups that eat together are happier, they grow more people get saved, and they produce more leaders the more they eat food together. So eating is a very positive thing. The last thing they found, I think, is extremely interesting, and that is open groups where new people are always being invited are much healthier than closed groups where it's just us and we don't really want to add anybody new. And groups where people feel like they can share their struggles, they're open in what they can share, also grow and thrive more than groups where people feel like this maybe isn't the right place for me to share that thing in my life. So we want you to be groups, to have a group that thrives. We want you to lead a group that thrives. Consider how this week, what it is you can do to help your group be more member-centered and not quite so leader-centered, how to have more prayer going on in your group, how to increase the caring going on inside the group, but also during the week, and how to eat together, how to eat more often, how to make that happen. Beyond that, make sure that there's an agreement that this is a place where we can be open and share struggles, and this is also a place where new people are always welcome. We want you to lead groups that thrive. We know you can do it. May God bless you this week as you lead your group, because you can do it.